Check. So I was just testing the audio video as I always do. I can hear myself and see myself too. I hope you guys also do not have any audio or video issues from my end and everything is clearly visible. Good afternoon, people. Hi. Hello, Avni. Good afternoon. Let's wait for a few more people to join in. People who have been coming regularly. So these days I've been getting a lot of inquiries regarding this bridge course, what it is about, and how is it that they can join in. Which is why we also have new people coming in every day these days. Good afternoon. So I will make a short intro video about this bridge course. If you know of people who would need this, and maybe you're not able to reach out to them and explain to them for too much time, I'm going to make an intro video for this bridge course, and that will be under 5 minutes, and I will put it on my YouTube channel. So I have my own YouTube channel. I'm going to put it. My YouTube channel's name is SAILAB SWARNIM, which is my name also, but my YouTube channel's name is followed by a CR. So you guys can go and check this out. Check this channel out. I'm going to put an intro video for this bridge course in a couple of days, and you can share that video to your contacts, and you can get some more people into this bridge course. The ones who you feel would benefit from this, and who, in your opinion, are in need for a course like this. And of course, those who are a similar crowd, a crowd which is as similar as you. Hello, Rio. Good afternoon. You guys join in by funny names. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if that is your name, but I'm sure you will not have a name of RI0, right? I'm sure that name is for some other reason. That's why you guys join in by these names, and then it gets difficult for me to call you by your name. Hello, Udit. Good afternoon. So as I was saying, I'm going to put an intro video for this bridge course, which should be less than 5 minutes, and you can share that, and I'll put that up on my YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel that you can see, okay? And you can share that intro video to your contacts so that they get an idea about what this bridge course is and they get motivated to come. Because these days I've been getting a lot of inquiries about this course, and I also get a little tired explaining the same thing to everybody again and again. So I thought, why not make a video on this? There is an intro video on tuition.in also, but that video is very long, like it's roughly half an hour long, and I'm not sure if people will have the patience to watch a video as long as that. So I will make a short intro video and share it amongst your contacts, share it in your class groups, WhatsApp groups, wherever you are. It's upon people to join whether they want to join in or not, but the only help that I need from your side is at least make sure that that video reaches to all your contacts, right? After that, you don't have to pursue them to join. You just have to let them know that something like this is happening by sharing them my video, which I will put on my YouTube channel, right? So you can visit my YouTube channel, and please give a subscribe and a follow, because that helps me also as a content creator. You can really help me that way. So moving on, we are going forward with our syllabus on vectors. Yesterday we finished all types of vectors. So we have completed 2 classes, I guess. Yes. In fact, we had one intro session, which was roughly 10 minutes long. And that was done on last Friday. Was it Friday? No, that was on Thursday. That was done on last Thursday. Last Friday was a music session. Okay. So this was done on last Thursday. and that was for 10 minutes. So that and 2 classes have been done, one on Saturday and one on Monday, which is yesterday. This is yesterday. Today is Tuesday. So uh, now things have started to build. What I want you to know is, now since we are starting with algebraic operations on vectors, I think the heading of the video is slightly wrong today. It says algebraic application of vectors. We are not going to study algebraic application of vectors. We are going to study algebraic operations on vectors, right? How can you add two vectors? How can you subtract two vectors? And what are some other operations that you can do on them? That is what we will study today. And probably this will continue tomorrow also. So if you have to understand these things, then everything that has been covered in this intro session and in the last 2 classes must be fully clear, right? If there are holes and if there are gaps in those and those conceptual understanding, then you will struggle in what will be taught today also. So make sure you go back and revise. And for anybody who's joined in new today for the first time, make sure that you cover this and this, right? So only then today's class will make complete sense to you. It will still make some sense because it's hardly possible for me to teach a topic without mentioning something from the past, as you guys would have already noticed in my style of teaching. Like when I teach, I assume that you don't know anything, right? I assume that you wouldn't have done your work. I assume that you wouldn't have revised. So I put in some extra efforts from my end to make sure that I repeat things. And on top of this, if you indeed do your work, if you indeed do your revision, then that's going to really benefit you. Okay. Also, there is one thing that I wanted to introduce today. This tip. In fact, I shouldn't call it a tip. I should call it an extremely important point. So a tip is something which is done to enhance onto something that's already built, right? So let's say I teach you a lot of things. Now you are clear with a lot of concepts, and then I give you a tip and I say that, hey, here is something that can help you shorten your work, that can make life even more easier for you. That is what a tip is. So I shouldn't use the word tip actually. I should use the term an extremely important point. Now that you have started to study JEE physics, even though you haven't started studying it completely, like you're not yet into proper 11th syllabus. Some colleges treat vectors and calculus as a part of 11th syllabus. I don't like to do that, because vectors and calculus are like separate entities. They are like foundation, which are important for both 11th and 12th. So I can't really treat it as a part of 11th syllabus. I treat it as a part of bridge course only. Some colleges do treat it as a part of 11th syllabus. So now that you are about to start 11th syllabus in a few days, an extremely important point is, I want to discuss about this, and that is physics. And this point is limited to physics, specific to physics, not limited to physics. Physics is all about concepts plus practice. Now, from this bridge course, or from whatever I am teaching you, you are getting all the concepts. This is taken care of. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this in the future, because if I teach you a chapter, then that means there is nothing left to be taught in that chapter. Everything will be covered, because I assume that you don't know anything. So I will teach everything from the basics to the end, and I will cover everything as far as concepts is concerned. And this is max that a teacher can do. Well, of course, you can also have a teacher who can be your personal mentor and who can be your personal coach. He can give you problems. He can make sure you practice. He can verify that also. But unfortunately, I will not be able to do that, right? Or any general teacher in your classroom will never be able to do that. The max that they can do is they can give you some concepts, some really good, correct, foundational concepts, along with some problems. And then this is about 30 to 40% of your preparation. 60% of your preparation will lie here as far as physics is concerned. And I'm telling you, this is the most neglected. Number one, the most neglected. Number two, the most difficult. And I can keep adding points. Now, what will differentiate you from somebody who does really well in the final exam is this 60%. Of course, it is this 40% also, right? It is this 30 to 40% also. Not all of you will be lucky enough, to be studying from good teachers in your coaching institutes. Some of you might be really lucky. You might get very good teachers who might give you, thorough understanding of concepts. They will teach you properly, but that's not really the case in the Indian teaching industry. To be very honest, like I'm uh, I'm about 5 years old from you. Like it was in 2016 when I was doing my preparation, and from what I saw around me, it's not that easy to get a teacher who has complete conceptual understanding about what is being delivered. And even if somebody has complete conceptual understanding, it's not a necessity that that teacher will be able to deliver everything to you, and it's not necessary that you will understand what he's teaching, right? So getting a teacher who not just has good conceptual understanding but also has the ability to communicate himself or herself to you in a way that you understand it just the way he wants you to understand, that's going to be very difficult. I can tell you that only not more than 10% of you will get that. 10 to 20% of you will be getting such teachers. Others will just be getting physics teachers who are recruited in their coaching institutes, who just teach to complete the syllabus and who do not really put in a lot of heart and energy to teach. I think some of you who have started your coaching, you must be feeling that already with a lot of your teachers. And I'm extremely unfortunate, but that is the reality of the Indian teaching industry. So, of course, you have to be lucky. You have to be lucky with this 30 to 40% also. But even if you get this 30 to 40%, that's never going to be enough. That is the trick here. That is the catch as far as all these preparations or all these competitive exams are concerned. Hello, Sikandar. Hi. Even if you get this 30 to 40%, it is this 60% which is going to make the greatest amount of difference between you and somebody who's actually a ranker. Okay. And it's if I were to give an analogy, I would say, think of it as playing a guitar. So right now, if I get my guitar from my room and I start teaching you that, hey, these are the notes, these are the chords, and you will start making notes of what I'm doing, you will understand everything. Like your brain will function and your brain will be able to grasp everything. You will feel that, okay, hey, I've learned how to play a guitar. But then when you have to hold the guitar in your hand and you have to use your hands to play it, that is when your body will face a great resistance, because you have never trained your body to play it, right? You have only seen somebody else play it, and you have only seen how they do it and all those things, and you've just observed certain patterns, but you've never tried it by your own hands. And some of you who are into sports, think of a sport that you learned for the first time, right? Your coach taught you certain things. Now if I were your coach in front of the camera right now, and if I teach you certain things, that okay, if you have to play cricket, this is how you place your bat, this is how it has to be front facing, the ball should meet the bat here right in the middle so that the timing needs to be good. You will know all of this by theory, but then when you have to go and play, it is your reflexes, it is your body which is going to come into picture. Let me tell you, studies are no different. Physics, maths are no different. You train your brain on certain concepts, and then your brain has to send certain information to your hands and it has to solve. And as long as you don't train your hands to practice problems, your brain, even though it will contain all the information from these 30 to 40% of your effort, from all these concepts, it will have all the information, but it will never be able to translate that information to your hands in the given amount of time. Right? Exam has a time limit, which means you have to get done with these problems in that time limit, which means you have to train your hands to respond fast. So now, because you're starting fresh, I'm giving you this extremely important point in the beginning itself. No matter how many concepts you learn, make sure that you start solving easy problems only, but at least get your hands used to solving problems, right? And then from easy, you transition into difficult problems. That's how it goes. So some of you will not even be lucky to be getting this 30 to 40% right, because you will not have great teachers. And don't worry, for that I am still there. Even after this bridge course, I will start something for 11th and 12th guys. So That's why I've been advising that you guys connect with me on my YouTube channel. I will post content there also. And also there is, my Instagram, which is this @Salab Swarnim CR, right? This is my Instagram ID. So connect with me, give it a follow. If you have any doubts regarding anything, you can always reach out to me. And then let's say in the future, if I'm able, if I launch a course or something for you guys, those of you who are into 11th right now, you will at least know where to find me, right? Through my YouTube channel and through my Instagram. So even if, let's say, you don't get this 30 to 40% right, because let's say you are not lucky enough to have great teachers, you can still take my help. And for those of you who are satisfied with your teachers in your coaching institutes, who are lucky enough to get good ones, this thing is taken care of by you. But for both of you, for both categories, for those who get good teachers and for those who do not, for both the categories, this is independent of who your teacher is, the 60%. This is all about your effort. Okay, so this is how your IIT, JEE or BITSAT or any other competitive exam preparation looks like. And these are all the important points that I want you to keep in your head. So we have started that phase now. I've been teaching you units, dimensions, error analysis, instruments, and then vectors. I don't think you guys would have done a lot of practice. But now the topics that we are starting now it's going to be not just concepts, it's also going to be practice. Today is the day, algebraic operations and vectors. It all starts now. So get rid of your class 10th, habits. In class 10th, I remember I hardly solved any problems in class 10th. In fact, even before my class 10th began, after my class 9th, there were summer vacations. I took my maths textbook, science textbook during the summer holidays. And in those 2 months of summer holidays, I read the entire books on my own. I finished all of physics. There is this book called, I forgot, by S. Chand, Lakmeer Singh and Manjeet Kaur's book on physics. I really forgot the name of the book, but I finished that whole book on my own. Physics, chemistry, maths. So it's like I was done with all the syllabus of 10th, even before 10th began, and that too without a teacher. And then when the actual syllabus began, I just used to sit and chill in the classroom. And I used to come back home, just solve a little, and I was done. 10th was that easy. You could just sit, not do enough problems, just understand the concepts, do a little practice, and it will be done. So 10th syllabus was more like 80% of study, and this 80% also did not require a lot of effort, and 20% of practice. But can you see the difference in the number here? Now your 11th syllabus is going to be, 11-12 syllabus is going to be like 30 to 40% concepts, and these are going to be 4x, 4 times more demanding than what you had in your class 10th. So your class 10th preparation was about 80% of only studying from the book, right? And that 80% also was 4 times lesser than what this 30 to 40% is going to be. That is the conceptual quantity and the depth that you're going to cover in 11th and 12th. The number of chapters will be huge. And this is only 30 to 40%. 60% apart from this is your practice only. And this is the reason why, guys, this is the reason why not everybody gets a rank. There are 12 lakh people who give JEE mains. More than 12 lakh people. So let me give you some statistics of the competition that is to come. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to tell you that if you want to be in a percentage of people who get these ranks, you have to follow this process that I have just explained to you in the last 10 minutes, right? And this is the exact process that others are not going to follow. Okay, that's why they don't get ranks. So first of all, let me give you some data. JEE mains. JEE mains is the biggest exam of this country. Biggest in terms of the number of people who take it. Okay. 12 plus lakh people take JEE mains. Up to my year, it was more than 12 lakh people. Out of these 12 lakh people, in my time, 2.5 lakh people qualified for JEE Advanced. So here I have another exam. So there are 2 exams that I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about JEE mains and then I'm talking about JEE Advanced. JEE mains is that exam which gives admission to NITs, National Institute of Technologies, triple ITs, CFTIs, centrally funded technical institutes, And there are so many other colleges, JEE Mains does not give you admission to IITs. JEE Advanced is the exam which gives you admission to IITs. Okay. So to write this exam, you first have to be in the 2.5 lakh people from this 12 plus lakh people. What percentage is it? Can we just calculate the percentage once? 2.5 by more than 12. Let's say I take 12 only into 100, right? Which is 250 by 12. Okay. Which is 12 to the 24, and then you have a 10 here. And then what do? We put a 0, and then we put a 0 again, and then we put a point, correct? And it is 12, 8 is 96. Elementary mathematics. Sometimes I'm able to do calculus problems faster than I can do division. That's a little ironical, but yeah. So roughly 20%. So first of all, to give IIT's exam, you have to be in the 20% people. And then out of these 2.5 lakh people, if you are from general category, to get a seat in an IIT, you have to be in the top 10,000 of these 2.5 lakh people. Now, what percentage of 2.5 lakh is 10,000? Let's see that. 10,000 divided by 2,50,000. You will be shocked to see the number. 10 lakh divided by 2,50,000. Right? This is how it is. This is roughly 0.04%. Can you see that? Sorry, you have to multiply this with 100, right? You have to multiply this with 100 also, so 4%. Okay, 4%. So you have to be in the top 4% of these 2.5 lakh people. But this 2.5 lakh people are the top 20% of all the people who give JEE Advanced. So if you have to be in the top 10,000 of this 12 lakh people, then what is the number? Let's see. 10,000 divided by 12, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 into 100. Let's see what this is. Don't worry, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to give you some understanding about what things are and what the reality is, and how is it, or why is it that this is way more difficult than your class 10th or 11th, class 10th or anything that you have studied before. And if I multiply this with 100, this comes out to be 0.8%, not even 1%. Can you see? And this is 10,000. Like if you are from general category, and if you get a rank of 10,000, then you will get a branch like ceramics engineering. In fact, to get ceramics engineering also, you have to be on 8,000. You won't even get it on 10,000. So you'll get something like ceramics engineering in IIT BHU. If you have to get branches like electrical or computer science, or chemical, all these core branches, then you have to be in the top 5,000, not even 10,000, right? So this was your story about IIT JEE. And don't think BITSAT, there is another exam called BITSAT. BITSAT gives you admission to BITS Pilani, the college which I belong to, right? There are 3 campuses. One is Pilani campus, which is the oldest, and it was established somewhere around the time of IIT Kharagpur and IIT Bombay only. So again, Pilani is as old and as reputed as the old IITs. So that's why obviously there is heavy competition for Pilani also. So I'm sharing all this information because I believe that a lot of you would have no idea about these colleges and these things. So even that is a part of bridge course which we should do. So Pilani, then you have a campus in Hyderabad. In fact, Goa was the one which was established next. Pilani was established in 1960s. Then Goa, which was established in, I guess, 2004. I'm not sure. It's somewhere in the early 2000s. And then you have Hyderabad campus, which was established in 2008. There is also a Dubai campus. I'm not sure if Dubai was before Hyderabad or after Hyderabad, but fine. Most of you don't care about this because you will be studying in India only. Okay. So older the college, more reputed. So obviously Pilani is more reputed, Goa is more reputed than Hyderabad. So to get to Pilani, let's say if you want to get to Pilani, you can check the statistics on the internet. This number that you're seeing, this number, like to get to IITs, you have to be in the top 0.8% of the people who take the exam. Like all of them start from JEE mains and then qualify. 2.5 lakh people qualify for JEE advanced. Then from that you have to be in the top 10,000 to get a seat and to get a branch like electrical, chemical and all that. Even 0.8% is not enough. You have to be even lesser than that. Okay. And if you look at the number, that percentage for BITSAT, it's even more lesser. Which means the number of people who give BITSAT and the number of people who finally get an admission in Pilani, let's say, that number is even lesser than 0.8%. So getting in BITS Pilani also is as difficult as getting into an IIT, right? Which means if 100 people give an exam, you have to be the first one among these 100 people. In fact, not even one, you have to be less than that one. And why do you think that only few people, what is it that these 5,000 to 10,000 people who get into IITs, BITS Pilani, so ultimately everybody, every serious aspirant or every potential ranker gives 3 exams. Every potential ranker, and by potential rankers I mean the ones who get into IITs, NITs, triple ITs, BITS Pilani. Okay, I don't I won't call people who get into Manipal, VITs or any other state colleges as potential rankers. Okay, so I'm talking about rankers who get into top rated national colleges of India. Okay, these people, all of them give 3 exams. All of them give JEE mains, all of them give JEE advanced, all of them give BITSAT. And roughly all of them, most of them end up in this 5,000 to 10,000 bracket from these 12 lakh people. Okay. What is it that these 10,000 or 5,000, 10,000 people do different when compared to all the others, right? So let me say 10,000. Okay, 10,000 people get in. 10,000 people are potential rankers. 12 lakh people take the exam. In fact, it's more than 12 lakh. So what is it that the 11 lakh 90,000 people do not do that these 10,000 people do? And that is this thing that I have explained you on the first page here. First of all, most of them are lucky enough to get this 30 to 40% right. And even after getting this, they do not compromise on this 60% at all from their end. They do not get lazy. They do not get demotivated. Even if they have some tough days, even if they have some bad tests, they will not let their morale go too down. And they will keep working until they get the 60% right. That is what they do differently when compared to others. Okay. So for those of you, as I was telling, I would tell the same thing again. Can you please give your introduction? Hello, Mitesh. My name is Syllabus Swarnim. I've been teaching IIT JEE physics for the physics and maths for the last 4 years now. I've been teaching it since 2017. Okay, and I've been mentoring a lot of students to give all these exams, all these competitive exams. I clear people's doubts, subjective doubts. I teach them, and also everything else. I manage their overall preparation. Currently, I'm in my 4th year. Undergraduate, and I am in BITS Pilani campus. My branch is electronics engineering, electronics and instrumentation to be more precise. ENI it's called. You can check that online. So my JEE rank was 3257 out of this 12 lakh people who gave this exam. Okay, and this was my JEE mains rank, by the way. My JEE advanced rank was about 8,000 of the 2.5 lakh people who give JEE advanced. I slipped a little in JEE advanced. My BitSat score was, I don't remember it clearly, but it was in the 330s. And that's how I got ENI. So I was getting these branches. I was getting branches like agriculture in IIT Kharagpur. So didn't really, wasn't really sure about it. I was getting CS in NIT Warangal, computer science in NIT Warangal, and that was because I also had a home state quota of Telangana, right? At this rank, I would not have got CS in NIT Warangal if I didn't have the home state quota. And in all other NITs, in all other top NITs, I was getting electrical. I was also getting ECE in IIIT Hyderabad, which is considered as one of the finest. IIIT Hyderabad is very good, but sir, आपको IIT मिल रहा था तो अपने बिट्स क्यों लिया? Because I was getting, as you can see, I was getting agriculture in IIT Kharagpur. I was getting mining in IIT BHU. Okay, but I was getting electrical, or in fact, I was getting electronics in BITS Pilani. And electronics as a branch has more scope, has more job opportunities when compared to agriculture and mining. That's a truth. That's a hard truth of this country. That branches like computer science, branches like electronics, branches like chemical, these branches do have more job opportunities than agriculture and mining in this country. Okay. And at the same time, as I've told you, when it comes to BITS Pilani, specifically Pilani campus, from all the people who I was guided by, and now from my own personal experience too, I can tell you that if you choose Pilani campus, your college life is not going to is no way going to be inferior when compared to any of the IITs, right? Every student has some or the other complaint with his college. That is a thing that I will put aside. But ultimately, as far as a holistic experience is concerned, and being from a top college and everything else is concerned, there is hardly any difference between Pilani campus and the top IITs. You won't. There is always a neck-to-neck competition. Of course, if I was getting electronics in IIT Kharagpur, if I was getting electronics in IIT Roorkee, I would definitely choose that over Pilani campus. But since I was not getting that, because out of these 3 exams, 1, 2, 3, I ended up doing very well in 1 and 3, but I didn't do so good in the second exam. That was the point. Okay. सर मैं क्लास 12th में हूँ, JEE फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में 72 परसेंटाइल आया है, अभी मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? 72 percentile, I'm not really sure how high that is. I think that's not high at all, because this rank was in the 99 point something percentile, right? It was very high. And if I imagine how 70 percentile will be, or 72 percentile will be, it's going to be very low. So I don't think you will get any good college. So you should definitely prepare again, right? Provided you need help, provided you feel that getting better coaching and getting better concepts can help you improve your preparation. And if you are ready to put in the hard work, then you should prepare again. Okay. So that's all, people. I think now we can start with algebraic operations on vectors, which we were supposed to do. I spent the first half an hour to explain you the whole scenario about what the reality is, what you are going to get into, and why is it that it's important for you to follow this thing. 30 to 40% concepts, and 60% of your preparation or your efforts is about your practice. And let's say you do not get this 30 to 40% right, then stay connected with me through my YouTube channel or by Instagram. Make sure that you're updated with whatever I'm putting forward, because tomorrow if you don't get a good teacher and if you're not satisfied, then I will always be available to teach. Okay. When I start something of my own, you will know it, provided you are connected with me through my YouTube and my Instagram. Okay. So now we can move to studying algebraic operations on vectors. So people do revise the previous 2-3 classes on vectors, otherwise this will start bouncing over your head. Okay. So the first operation that we will study is multiplication and division of vectors by scalars. So I was talking about this operation yesterday. I talked about it 3-4 times, that if I have a vector a bar, which let's say it looks like this, okay, then if I multiply it with lambda, which is a scalar. What do I mean by the scalar? Lambda has no direction. Lambda is just a number, is just a real number. Okay, we don't have to deal with complex numbers. When you study mathematics, then you will also study a chapter called as complex numbers, wherein those numbers will not even be real, right? But as far as physics is concerned, we don't have to worry about complex numbers. We can stay relevant to real numbers only. So this lambda is a real number. What is this a bar? Is this a number? Is a bar a number? The answer is no. It is a vector, which means it has a magnitude and it has a direction. But lambda is just a number. Lambda can be 2, it can be 3, it can be 2.5, it can be minus 3.9, anything. But a bar is a vector. So what will happen to this arrow if I multiply this a bar with a lambda? That is the question. So I would like to divide it into 2 cases. Case 1. If lambda is more than 0, then this is your vector a bar. Then lambda a bar is going to be a new vector which is in the same direction as a bar, but its length will be lambda times that of a bar. Which means if this guy a bar is of x units, which means if you measure its length from head to tail, and if it's of x units, then lambda a bar is going to be another vector which is going to be of lambda x units, if lambda is more than 0. And then if this guy is pointing towards east, then this guy will also point towards east. So takeaways, what are your takeaways? If I have a vector a bar and if I multiply it with a scalar such that that scalar is greater than 0, then the new vector is going to point in the same direction as the old vector. And point number 2, the magnitude of the new vector is going to be lambda times the magnitude of the old vector. Now, first question to you. What is the new vector here? What new vector am I talking about? What is this new vector? And likewise, what is the old vector? Can somebody type that? First question. First question is, what is the old vector? If anybody has got any clarity about what I just said or what I just explained, just type in the chat box. What is the old vector in my sentence? Lambda vector is the new. Correct, Udit, you are right. My new vector is lambda a bar. Right, Avni, you are right. New vector is lambda a bar. And what is the old vector? A bar is the old vector. So, as you can see, if I have a vector a bar and if I multiply it with a scalar, then this whole thing is a new vector. That whole thing is a new vector. And that new vector will have some magnitude and direction, because every vector in the world has a magnitude and direction. So this lambda a bar, which is my new vector, is also going to have a magnitude and a direction. What is the direction of this new vector? The same direction as a bar, provided lambda is more than 0. First point. What is the direction of this new vector? The same direction as that of a bar, provided lambda is more than 0. Okay? Does that make sense? Great. Coming to the next case. Case 2. What if lambda is less than 0? Which means, what if lambda is negative? So you have a vector a bar. You multiplied this vector with lambda such that this lambda is less than 0. Now this is going to be a new vector. And about this new vector, I need two things. I need its direction, I need its magnitude. So first let's look at direction. The direction of this new vector is going to be opposite to that of a bar. So opposite to a bar. Why? Because you multiplied it with a negative sign. Yesterday we saw, right? If I have a vector a bar and if I multiply it with, if I take minus a bar, then what does minus a bar mean? Minus a bar is nothing but minus 1 into a bar, and there your lambda is minus 1. Okay, so your vector gets reversed, it becomes anti-parallel. So lambda a bar, which is your new vector, will have a direction opposite to a bar. Okay, what about the magnitude of this new vector? Magnitude is going to be modulus of lambda into modulus of a. No, modulus is not going to be the same, Udit. Sorry, magnitude is not going to be the same. Magnitude is going to be like the length. So let's say this guy is of x length. Then this guy is going to be mod lambda times x length. Why am I taking mod lambda here? Why am I taking mod lambda? Because lambda is less than 0. And I have to make it positive. Okay, I have to make it positive because magnitude cannot be negative. Remember, note, magnitude of a vector can never be negative. Why? Because magnitude means the length of the vector. Can the length be negative? The lowest length that's possible is 0. When your vector becomes a point or a 0 vector, you cannot have a negative length vector. The negative in a vector goes into changing its direction. So whenever I multiply a vector with a negative quantity, the negative part of that quantity will have a role in reversing the direction of the vector, and the number, the modulus of that quantity which is with which the vector is being multiplied, that's going to resize the magnitude of the vector. Making sense? If it does, then tell me a couple of things here. If I have a vector a bar, then tell me, number 1, how does 2a bar look like? Number 2, how does minus 3a bar look like? Number 3, how does 0a bar look like? Very simple. Answer to the first question is 2a bar is a new vector. This is your old vector. This new vector is going to have a magnitude. The magnitude of this vector is going to be twice. So if let's say your a bar is having 10 units magnitude, then 2a bar is going to have 20 units magnitude, and it will point in the same direction as a bar. answer to the second question is, how is minus 3 bar going to look like? You see a minus, right? The moment you see a minus, first you should know you have to reverse the direction. Okay, so your new vector here, this new vector again will have a magnitude and a direction. Direction, I have found out that it's opposite to a bar. How about magnitude? If this guy is of 10 units, then this guy is going to be mod of minus 3 into 10 units. What does that mean? It's going to be 30 units. So to get 30, I have to change this minus 3 to plus 3. No. Otherwise, I will get negative in the magnitude also. So to do that, I'm putting a mod. That's why you have a mod formula, mod in the formula here, mod lambda, because that makes your lambda positive for using it in magnitudes formula. Answer 3, if you multiply any vector with a 0, then that will become a 0 vector. How does a 0 vector look like? It's like a point. This is a new vector. Now this new vector has arbitrary direction, which means an undefined direction, and it has 0 magnitude. Okay, so was the operation completely clear to you? Was it completely clear? I hope there are no doubts. And now guys, do you know why if you have a bar which looks like this, then minus a bar will simply be reversing this vector? Now you know why. Because minus a bar is nothing but lambda times a bar, where your lambda is minus 1. So first of all, when you see a minus, you will just reverse the direction. So this minus a bar is a new vector whose direction is opposite to a bar. And its magnitude is nothing but mod of minus 1 into mod of a. So if this was x units, this new vector is going to have a magnitude of 1 times x units, which means the magnitude of this new vector is also going to be x units only. So magnitude will remain the same, only direction will get reversed. Now you understand that completely? In fact, there was one more thing I remember I had told you. Unit vectors. I told you when we discuss this operation, when we discuss multiplication of a vector by a scalar, then we will come back to unit vectors. Let's come back to unit vectors, the one that we were talking about yesterday. Okay. I need your help to construct a vector of length. I need your help to construct a vector of length 10 units in the direction of let's say northwest. This is my job. I need your help with my job. How will we do this? And in fact, how will we use the concept of unit vectors to do this? Let us look at that. Let's come to our graph. Where is northwest? The northwest is somewhere here. Let's say I have a vector of length 1 unit in the direction of northwest. So how does that vector look like? Let's say this. What is special about this purple arrow? There are two things special about it. First thing, it has a magnitude of 1 unit. Second thing special about it is it points towards northwest. Now you might be getting a question, okay, how did I get this vector? That's not important right now. That's not important right now. Let me say I gave this unit vector in your hands, and with the help of this unit vector, I want you to construct a vector of 10 units along northwest. Now, how will you do it? Let's say this vector is, let me name it. Let's say this vector is a cap. Why am I saying it's a cap? Why am I using the term cap? Cap is this symbol, no? This symbol. Why am I using this? I have told you while explaining unit vectors, whenever you represent unit vectors, then you represent or you denote it using a cap. Let's say if I multiply a cap with 10, then the question, what will happen? Use whatever I have taught you about 5 minutes ago. If you multiply this a cap with 10, what will happen? So a cap is a vector. I want you to tell me what will 10 times a cap look like. So when you multiply it with 10, then this becomes your new vector. This was your old vector. This new vector will have some direction, right? What is the direction of the new vector? It's going to be same as a cap. Because I'm multiplying this a cap with a scalar which is more than 0. Case 1. If your lambda is more than 0, the new vector is going to point in the same direction as the old vector. Old vector was a cap. So new vector must also point towards a cap because your scalar is positive. Okay. Now what about the magnitude? Magnitude is going to be 10 times of a cap. Because if you have a vector a bar, you multiply it with lambda, then lambda is a bar is going to be lambda times magnitude of a, provided your lambda is more than 0. If lambda is less than 0, then it will be mod lambda times a, right? So now have I or have I not constructed a vector of length 10 units in the direction of northwest? What is special about this green guy? This green guy has a magnitude of 10 units and its direction is the same as that of a cap. So did you just understand? With the help of unit vectors, I can construct any vector in that given direction. I can construct a vector of 10 units magnitude. I can construct a vector of 5 units magnitude. I can construct a vector of 1000 units magnitude. Right? I can also construct a vector in the opposite direction if I multiply it with minus. Right? Because then my unit vector will become minus a cap. This will be my unit vector. And I can multiply it with any quantity to resize it. Right? So in a way, can I say unit vector represents direction? Here your a cap was representing northwest, right? I have not told you how it is representing northwest. I am telling that I have it pointing towards northwest, and once I have it, then my a cap is nothing but my direction. And lambda is nothing but magnitude. Correct? And I had told you yesterday that any vector a bar is nothing but its magnitude into direction. Magnitude is taken care of by the lambda. Direction is taken care of by the unit vector. Just now we studied this. We constructed a vector of 10 units along northwest. Northwest, the fact that that vector was pointing towards northwest was taken care of by the unit vector a cap, because a cap was pointing towards northwest. And lambda was my 10. So 10 a cap was my a bar, which was a vector of 10 units pointing towards northwest. Did you understand? With the help of unit vectors, you can construct any vector in any direction. Let's say if I want to construct a vector at an angle of 73 degrees from positive x-axis. and that vector has to have a magnitude of 7.5 units. Then it's very simple. Let's say this vector that I want to construct is called b bar. To get b bar, I know its magnitude 7.5. The only thing that I need is I need a vector of 1 unit which is pointing towards my given desired direction. I need a vector of 1 unit which points in the direction of my in my desired direction, and I need to give it a name. Let's say this is b cap. I only have to multiply the 7.5 with b cap, and then I will get a vector in the same direction whose length is 7.5 units, whose magnitude is 7.5 units. So this is the importance of unit vector, guys. Without understanding the concept of unit vectors, you will not be able to ever interpret or construct vectors on your own. Okay. So with this, I will end today's class. It's time. Tomorrow we will get into more operations. We will revise this quickly, and then we will go to more operations. Okay. So those of you who did not understand this, I'm telling you 3 classes of vectors. Today was the 3rd class. Revise all these 3. Make sure that you are updated. Only then you will be able to follow properly in the class. And if there are no doubts coming in the chat box, I would like to leave. But yeah, guys, do go on my channel. Do go on my YouTube and Instagram and connect with me, right? So I'm writing them down here, Syllabus CR and @Syllabus CR, because the moment I make the bridge course introduction video, I want you to find it on my YouTube channel and Instagram. So press the bell icon also. If you only subscribe, press the bell icon. If you only subscribe, then you will not get a notification of when the video is put up. So I want you to know when the video is put up. That's why press this bell icon. And once that video is out, bridge course introduction video, please share it in all your contacts and get more people on this course, right? So thank you, guys. I will take your leave now. Thank you for joining. I hope you understood everything that was taught today. Bye-bye.